So I've did two job interviews today, and I've been praying for these jobs. I've been for the past couple months I've been unemployed, just strictly looking for remote jobs I can work from home. And I finally got an offer for one, and I'm waiting for the second job to accept me or decline me, and then so I can tell the first job whether I accept or not. But I thought I would feel relieved, and I kind of don't. I feel even more stressed than when I didn't have a job. Like, I'm reading the job reviews and stuff, and it's like, yeah, say goodbye to your life. You're they pay too little for the amount of work you do, and etc. etc. And the reason I left my last job was because I thought I could find something better, something that could suit my life more. Because my last job, I would have to, wake up early to go to the gym, like very early, like 6 a.m., and I would have to go in to work at 9, and then, drive back in traffic and drive back in traffic and then work on, pursuing my dreams after work. And, it's very exhausting. So I was thinking, I was like, all right, baby steps. Because this last job I got, it was pretty good. I quit doing Uber Eats and quit working on my car and stuff. It was taking up so much of my time and money. So I finally got to settle down with a job, and you know, actually make more money in my last job. So I was thinking about it in terms of baby steps. All right, I stopped doing Uber Eats. Now I got this office job. Let me save up some money. And now the next step for me, I was like, all right, let me get a remote job so I can work from home, and so I can possibly work on my dreams while I work my job. Since I am right here on my computer, might as well do the things while I'm working, or be in the comfort of my home, which is, I would say is a smarter move. But I realized none of that stuff is all that, it's kind of just cope. It might be just cope for me, bro. I've realized maybe taking baby steps or whatever, and keep jumping around from job to job. What I truly just have to do is just focus and lock in on the I've been avoiding the true work that has to be done, and is chasing my dreams, getting better at music or whatever, making these videos, pursuing. And maybe the excuse of working smarter and taking baby steps, that might be, it may be true in a sense, but at the end of the day, I think I'm just it might be just cope, that sadly that I've realized. And I've been making these videos more often, and for these past couple days I've slowed down. I don't know why exactly. I guess I've been just waiting for a good time to record these videos, but when is a good time? There's always an excuse, and excuses never give you results. And that's the problem. They always seem valid, but no matter how valid an excuse is, you'll end up at the end of the day not getting results, which is the sad part. So, yeah, there's only one way for me to truly get out of just this rat race, and it's for me to focus on what I love doing, and that's making these videos, making music, and preaching Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, it's very simple. It's just very, you know when you've built a lifestyle and a habit of of pretty much hedonism. Like it's hard to break that. For example, when you're addicted to drugs, when you're addicted to scrolling, dopamine, drinking, smoking, it's a difficult thing to just cold turkey those things or just lock in through those things. It's possible. Those are the things that have to be done, but you know it's not pleasant. And I'm here with those people that they want to lock in and stuff, but you know they're in their own way. And the best thing I would say for you to, or not the best thing, but one ideal that I have to get rid of those bad habits and stuff is to finally get the ball rolling. Because once you get it rolling, it becomes habit. And you know, it becomes normal. And you stop fearing these things, and your confidence slowly starts coming in when you actually get the ball rolling and you can see that it can actually be done, and you were scared for no reason. But the other side of the coin is when you take a brief moment to stop and when you do nothing. Because obviously doing nothing is always easier than doing something. No matter how good the thing is, as humans, we like to just sit there and enjoy instant gratification. That is the human drug, instant gratification. Everybody wants everything they want right now. They want to feel good right now. And that's the weakness everybody has, you know? Like, no one's immune to that. Obviously, you know, you can get disciplined and have that desire become less and less. But at the core of our humanity, like, that's always going to be a struggle. Whether it's small or big, it is going to be a struggle for us to avoid that instant gratification. But yeah, as I was saying, stop when you stop grinding, when you stop the grind, it is so easy to just stop for so long. Cause that's what you've known all your life, is just doing nothing. And to stop doing anything at all is just so easy because you're literally just doing nothing and just mentally jerking off. You know what I mean? Like you're scrolling or you're eating trash food or, you know, whatever it may be. And it's super easy. But at the same time, the grind becomes easier the more you do it. The more you get the ball rolling and the more you know, the more you take action, the more confidence you get, and the more the more action you do. The more action you do, the more action you do. It makes stupid fucking sense. But like, literally, as you roll the ball, the snowball is gonna get bigger. The snowball effect. You keep rolling the snow, it's gonna get big. And yeah, I think, you know, when I'm making these videos, I'm kind of like talking to myself. Like I'm saying these things for me to externalize the thoughts that I need to develop in my head. Because when I'm playing games and stuff, and when I'm scrolling, I noticed that I can't complete the thoughts that I have. And I tend to not know the answers to things because I never think them through. So I'm kind of using these videos, you know, to like kind of develop the thoughts that I have and keep it going. Like, so I can actually find the answers to my things. And, you know, I do find the answers as I'm recording, as I'm externalizing it all. And, you know, it starts to make sense as you actually think. You keep thinking instead of halting it with just like, oh, this hurts, thinking hurts, and like, you know what, let me just fucking goon, or let me scroll on social media, let me go eat a fucking Big Mac or some shit. Like, Stop halting your progress. Stop halting those hard conversations with yourself. Thinking the blessing of being able to critically think, you know, is beneficial for you and beneficial for the people around you and for the people watching these videos. But yeah, I would say get the ball rolling. As hard as it is to get the ball rolling, just roll it. Throw it down the hill. Just get started. Get started with the fear, without the confidence. Just start. It's always best to just start wherever you are, and you'll gain the confidence, and you'll reap the reward. That's it for this one.